So government shutdown looks like it might happen if Congress doesn't reach an agreement by Friday night. How does that affect small business? How does it affect CEOs as well? Let's talk about it. So how did we get here? Well, of course, we have a new administration coming in, and there's some new attitudes. They are not excited about wasteful government spending, and they are not afraid to be aggressive about it. So Trump, Musk, and the whole gang is pushing the Department of Governmental Efficiency with the idea of cutting out a lot of waste. And by all stuff I've read, this 1,500 page bill designed to keep the government funded had some crap in it. One of the things I read was there was $3 billion for a new football stadium out in Washington, D.C., which, look, $3 billion in the scheme of the entire federal budget is just a drop in the bucket. But in the end, that's the type of stuff that the Department of Governmental Efficiency is not interested in funding for sure. So where I live, potentially the impact of this stuff is pretty big, right? I live in San Antonio, which a big part of the economy, one of our top 3 industries, is governmental related, right? We have huge military bases here, tons of people here from the NSA, and then all of just kind of the usual federal governments that are governmental departments that are spending money here. So first and foremost, this is pretty limited to federal, and it's also pretty limited just to stuff that's non-essential. So essential stuff that's federal, I mean, everything from the FBI to the TSA, to people getting food stamps, that stuff, continues on. That doesn't stop in the face of government shutdown. Other stuff that's non-essential, like national parks and that sort of thing, those things start to hurt over time from a government shutdown. So if you're a small business like here in San Antonio or another place where there's a lot of governmental money coming into employees who are then coming back and shopping with you, potentially, that could put some fear into those consumers. So you could see some hiccups here. But the reality is that if these people don't get paid by the federal government and they decide to keep working and all that kind of stuff, eventually they get paid anyway, right? The way this has always worked, and it's been, I think we've had 12 government shutdowns this century in the past 100 years. The way it tends to work is the employees get their pay caught up. So it's not like we save money by shutting down the government. Fortunately, if you work for the government, unfortunately, if you're a taxpayer. So in the short term, if you run a small business, you can pretty much expect zero impact from a government shutdown. The people that are maybe off payroll and whatever, they'll spend on credit cards for a bit, and things will just kind of be how it is because they'll be expecting to get paid eventually. If you are a business doing direct kind of work with some of those departments or directly servicing them, that could be a different story, but that's a relatively small percentage of businesses. But for the rest of us, this is probably just like everything else that happens in the news. Rarely does it impact your day-to-day, and you're best off as a business just focusing on what matters, keeping your customers happy, and making sure the machine runs happily, profitably, and reliably for the people you're trying to help, which is your customers in the end.